Hi, good day. Welcome to another tutorial video for reading and writing skills. Of course, we have another lesson for today. Right? Thanks for tuning in to our another video tutorial. So again, welcome to reading and writing skills. Once again, this is Miss Pauline L. Balamide. Right? So again, it's a good day for everyone. And what are we going to learn today? Right? We're done with critical reading as looking for ways for thinking. And of course, after that, when we start thinking, we can be able to reason out. Right? So today we will be discussing critical reading as reasoning. Okay? What are the things that you're going to learn and going to achieve after our discussion? Okay, first for you to explain critical reading as reasoning. How are they even connected to one another? Next is for you to formulate evaluative statements about the text that you have read, formulate assertions about the content and properties of a text that you have read. Next is to formulate meaningful counterclaims in response to claims made in the text that you read. Okay? And lastly is for you to determine textual evidences to validate assertions and counterclaims made about the text that you have read. Right? Without further ado, let's begin with our discussion. First, let's talk about what critical reading is as one of the examples of types of reading. Okay? According to the website that we have here, skillsuni.com, reading critically does not necessarily mean being critical of what you read. Okay? It means that both reading and thinking don't mean being critical about some idea, argument, or piece of writing, claiming that it is somehow faulty or flawed. Okay? So that is critical reading. Critical reading is always beyond, okay, the regular reading activity that we do. Here in critical reading, we ask questions. Okay? We test and we do research to validate the things that we are reading. Again, always remember in critical reader, we are not vacuum readers that everything that we see, we accept. Okay? No, that is not critical reading. Okay? You have to always ask, you have to always do research. Right? Next. Okay, so these are the questions that you need to ask. What is the author trying to say here? What is the basis of the author for this? Right? And another example is what is the main argument being presented, okay, on the text that you are reading. Right? Now, let's talk about what reasoning is. Okay? According to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, reasoning is an act of giving statements for justifications and explanation. It is our ability, okay, or ability of someone to defend something by giving out reasons. It is not you being defensive about something, but again, it is our natural ability to reason out. Okay? Because reasoning skills are essential to our day-to-day life, right? We use them to make choices among possible options that we have, to distinguish between positive and negative situations, okay, in the surroundings, and of course, for us to decide how to approach a problem and to resolve it, and much more. Okay, so that's how important reasoning is. Now, if we combine both of them together, these concepts, we call it critical reading as reasoning. Okay, it only means it is a more active way of reading. It's not passive reading wherein you're going to sit, get a book or something, open an article, and you're going to read something else. Here, when we say active way of reading, you have, okay, interaction to what you are reading, meaning you highlight words that are unfamiliar to you, you research claims, statements, okay, that gives you confusion, okay, and you do research. Okay, so that is critical reading as reasoning. Of course, there should be a complex engagement with a text. And also, I would like to add up that critical reading as reasoning teaches us reader on how to not blindly accept all the presented facts without further examination. In the modern world, we're living in the 21st century wherein we have easy access to social media, websites, all of the other browsers. You can surf anytime, anywhere. Once you have that access. Meaning we can see fake news every single day. Okay? That's why we have to fact check everything. We should not blindly accept everything as easy. Okay? At is it presented to us? There should always be further examination, and that is where research comes in. Right? And also, critical reading involves presenting a reasoned argument that evaluates and analyzes what you have read. Being critical, therefore, in the academic sense or setting, means that you are advancing your understanding. You're not dismissing and therefore closing off learning. We have to normalize to change our perspective, our opinion about something once we learn. What is fact and what is not. Right? And I have a question here. Ask yourself about this. Do you believe all the things you have seen on TikTok? TikTok is one, of the most famous applications that we have these days. The transformation of TikTok from musically, from cover dance and dub smash to becoming a platform wherein people, have that freedom to share everything. The challenge is, are you going to believe everything that you're going to see, or watch from TikTok? That's the challenge. You have to be a critical reader. You have to read further. You have to listen carefully on the things being presented to you, on TikTok. Okay? Do not blindly accept everything. Okay? Next, let's talk about formulating evaluative statements about the text that we have read. What are these formulate evaluative statements that we're talking about? These are what we called assertion. Right? So let's define what assertion is first. Assertion in the sense of the language, meaning this is an stylistic approach or technique involving a strong declaration, a forceful or confident and positive statement regarding a belief or a fact. Often it is without proof or any support. That is assertion. Okay, the difference, between claim and assertion is that assertion is your claim that you truly, believe about something. No one can change your mind about this. That's the thing wherein you call it assertion or you being assertive about this. You strongly believe about something, you're confident about it, so you will declare it. So that is assertion. Okay. Again, these are declarative statements. These are claims something is true about something else. These sentences may either be statement of truths or facts or statement of opinion. And also, an assertion is declarations that is made emphatically, especially as part of an argument or as if it's to be understood as a statement of fact. So if someone makes an assertion, they're not just trying out an idea. They really mean it. Right? An assertion can also be an act that seems to make a statements without words. Right? Next, let's talk about the four types of assertion. First, we have the statement of fact. Here, the statement of fact can be proven objectively by direct experience, testimonies or witnesses, verified observations, or the results of research. Right? Statement of facts are sentences that describe as a fact or more likely a piece of scholarly knowledge that is commonly accepted, by most people or could be by everyone, and that you want your reviewers, readers, to accept as a fact also, into your application. They may not be facts in the everyday sense or day-to-day life, but they are common scientific views in your discipline. So that is the statement of fact, right? And also here, it mentioned that it could be from direct experience. When you say that something is hard for you, that is a statement of fact, okay? And no one, okay, can invalidate that because that is a direct experience. This is the time wherein we have the probable fact and the probable lie. But we give, okay, our full trust to direct experiences. That's why when you are inside a court and you have testimonies or witnesses regarding a certain crime, they give so much value to that. Okay? Because we believe that direct experiences are always facts and are always, okay, valid. Okay? So, of course, let me provide to you one example. Your heart pumps blood through your body. So, this is a piece of scholarly knowledge from the field of anatomy or science. And no one can argue about this because it's true that the function of the heart is to pump blood through our body and to deliver oxygen all throughout, okay, our whole body. Okay? Next, let's talk about the second type of assertion, and that is statement of opinion. Right? Here in statement of opinions, of course, your opinion should be based from facts also, but these are difficult to objectively verify because of the uncertainties of producing satisfactory proofs of soundness. Okay, here you just have to state the issue and then the concern, state what the author is arguing for or against for. Okay, that is statement of opinion. We have an example here. The popularity of Sampaguita flowers is most evident in places of worship. Okay, we have different religion. Okay, we have different places for worship, and this is just an opinion commonly, okay, by the Roman Catholics. Okay, because there are always people selling Sampaguita in front of the cathedrals or in front of the church. Okay, and Roman Catholic or in that certain religion. So this is just only a statement of opinion based on observation of only one group of people. Okay? But not everyone. Because other religions might not agree to this. Okay? Because they don't have, okay, the presence of Sampaguita and the places of their worship. Okay? Next, the third one is we have the statement of convention. Okay? A convention is a way in which something is done similar to traditions and norms. Conventions depend on historical precedent, laws, rules, usage, and our customs. Okay? The statement of convention, it may sound so factual, but no amount of observations, measurement will prove a statement of convention is true. Okay? One can go to dictionaries, references to works, conventional statements. Okay? For example, we have the concept of time. Okay? The concept of time was already there even before we were born. Okay? It was decided long, long time ago by certain group of people. Okay? Even the concept of calendar. Okay? It was decided long time ago by Gregorian people, by Chinese people. We have different even calendars to follow. Okay? So it was decided long time ago. Even the concept of numbers, the symbols, the letters of A, B, C until Z, how do we pronounce it? The sound. Okay, this letter should produce. It was decided by linguists long time ago already. Right? Even the scientific terms, no matter who you ask, okay, in science, they just decided it on their own. Okay? And with that, we have this one example. Okay? It says here that the Sampaguita belongs to the genus, okay, Hasminum of the family Olisiae. Okay? So that's the scientific term for Sampaguita or the family of Sampaguita. And that's something that we cannot question about. Okay? Because it was always a long time ago already. Even the beliefs, norms that we follow in the society, like for example, inside our home, okay, we have this certain saying, okay, in Filipino, that the mothers are the ilaw ng tahanan. This is an example of conventional statement, okay, because that's what we believe to. Okay, we woke we woke up, we were born one day, and this is everything we follow, even the roles of the genders in the society. Okay? So that is the statement of convention. Okay? Lastly is we have the statement of preference. Right? What do we mean by statement of preference? Right? Preferences are based on personal choice. Therefore, they are subjective and cannot be objectively proven or logically attacked. How can people attack you when with your preferences? Okay? Our preferences has our values and our beliefs as a person and as an individual. Now, let's set preference and opinion apart from one another, right? Listen carefully. Preference is the selection of one thing or person over the others, while opinion is again a belief that a person has formed about a topic or issue. Okay? Statements that go to the heart of our values and beliefs. Okay? So that is the statement of preference. Okay? Comparison, okay, of one thing to another, okay, that will fall under the statement of preference. Right? Here we have an example. Sampaguita are the most beautiful and most fragrant of all flowers. Okay? You can say that rose is better. You can say that gumamela or daisy sunflowers are better than sampaguita. But in the author of this sentence, okay, he or she prefers sampaguita over all other flowers. And we cannot question that. We cannot attack that because this is okay that author's preference. When you say that you love chicken joy from, of course, Jollibee more than the mac chicken, that's your preference. Okay, we always have our choices and our preferences depending on our taste, depending on what okay builds up okay our standard okay towards some things. Right? Next, we have another question here that you can ask, okay, to yourself. Do you spend time researching before you say a word about a certain thing, or are you the type who just blurts out words without thinking? Hey, so you have to evaluate yourself. Okay, if you're that type of person who believes okay about something without researches or just blurts out something without even thinking. Okay, because we'll be talking about formulating counterclaims. Okay, here what is claim? Okay, last time we defined what claim is at something that we say, okay, about our beliefs, our opinion, a fact, or how we perceive things. Okay, so that's our claim. But of course, we formulate counterclaim. The idea of this is to what? Give okay, a contradicting claim about the first claim given. Okay? They provide a contrasting perspective to the main argument and made to rebut okay, a previous claim made. Right? Next, counterclaims answer the questions what are the credible possibilities? Right? Next, the following questions will help you formulate a counterclaim. These are the things that you need to consider. Okay? First is what are the major points on which you and the author can disagree. Okay? Before we create counterclaims, we have to do research. We cannot do this on our own. Okay? Because we need facts, we need evidences. Okay? So that's why when you found okay an article okay, a literary piece or a literature that can help you out, you have to ask what are the major points on which you and the author can disagree. Second, what is the strongest argument? What did they say to defend their position? What are the merits of their view? What are the points given on this? Will this make huge impact when I say this? You have to think of that. Next, what are the weaknesses or shortcomings in their argument because your weakness could be okay the strength of the other side and vice versa. Okay, so you have to be very careful on that. Next, are there any hidden assumption which okay lines from the text best support the counterclaim you have formulated? So these are again, the following questions that will help you in formulating your counterclaims. Okay? So these are the steps for us, okay, in writing a counterclaim. Okay? Step 1, ways to begin a counterclaim, okay, or paragraph of a counterclaim. You can say many people believe that, okay, and then you just have to continue it. Next, it is often thought that, and then continue, okay, with your counterclaim. It might seem as if, while it is common, okay. Next, for step number 2, ways to transition from the opposite side back to your own opinion. So this is how you can start, okay, your counterclaims. What this argument fails to consider is this view sounds convincing at first, but although the core claim is valid, it suffers from the flaw in it. Okay? And of course, step number 3, write a counterclaim. Use one of the sentence starters in step 1. Remember to transition back to your opinion using one of the sentences from starters in step number 2. Okay? So here we have a counterclaim example. It is often thought that social studies is the favorite academic class for junior high school students. However, what this argument fails to consider is that science allows for more hands on activities. For example, when studying amphibians, you get to dissect a frog rather than just read about an event from the past. So, this is, okay, an example of counterclaim. Right? Now, create a counterclaim for the following statements. You can write your answers on our comment section. I'll read that, okay? And leave a like for those who did great on their counterclaims. Okay, we have two claims here. First is McDonald's should be considered a healthy restaurant because they offer salads, fruits, and water. Second one, everyone should adopt a stray dog or cat since they need homes. Alright, so you can leave your counterclaims on the comment section. Next, here, ask yourself what is the important thing that you need to have first before believing in something? What should we consider first, right? Let's all find out, right? So we have to determine textual evidence to validate assertions and counterclaims made about the text that we have read. Right? Here, in expressing, okay, your judgment about the text, first, okay, state your idea about the text. How do you see the text? Okay, what's your idea? What are your thoughts about this? Next, to determine evidence from the text, look for clues and keywords, okay, of idea, okay, that supports your idea about the text. Okay, you have to highlight, you have to underline, okay, these clues and these keywords related, okay, again, to the idea about the text. Next, you have to quote or paraphrase the part of the text that help you come up with your idea. Okay? Next, use quotation marks to quote a part of the text. If it is from a book, you have to indicate the page number at the end of your sentence. And lastly, express how the court supports your idea. Okay, that's how powerful quotations are and phrases are. Okay, from the text that we are reading. We use that as a powerful tool, okay, a powerful weapon for us. Okay, to validate our assertions, okay, the counterclaims we made about the text that we have read. And of course, do not forget, okay, to always mention who the author is, on which site you get this from. Okay, so at least the readers will know, oh, it comes from a credible source. Ah, next, in expressing your judgment about the text, first, okay, again, yeah, you have to state your idea about the text, determine evidences, quote or paraphrase, use quotation marks, and express how the court supports your idea. Right? Next, let's talk about the types of textual evidence. The first one is we have the referencing. Okay? Referencing, again, this is the act of mentioning of a specific section of the text like event or action. Next, this is restricting the author's or someone else's work using your own words without losing, okay, the original idea of the text. Okay, that is referencing. Okay, and that includes, of course, okay, the paraphrasing, wherein you're going to use your own words, but the idea, okay, from the original text should still be present. Right there. Next, we have summarizing. Okay, when we say summarizing, this is stating the essential ideas together of the text in a shorter way. Okay, so this is, okay, the part wherein, okay, you will write your conclusion, okay, about something, and you will summarize already, okay, all of the text. It might be long, so at the latter part you have to summarize everything. Okay, so at the end, okay, your readers will remember the true essence, okay, of your paper. Okay, and we have here quoting. Okay, in quoting, this is stating a part of the text in the exact way it was written. Okay, meaning every words, okay, from the text that you have read, and you need to use that, okay, in your own claims or your counterclaims. You will write everything the same way as it is, okay, written by the original author. Right? So those are, okay, the types of textual evidences. Again, we have referencing, we have paraphrasing, we have summarizing, and of course, lastly is quoting. Okay? If ever you have any questions or clarification, you can drop down your questions on the comment section. Okay? And again, this is Miss Pauline Balamide. Okay, and you can email me at my email, pbalamide@ucc.ph, and my personal business email, balamidepauline25@gmail.com. Once again, thank you so much for your time, for dropping by here on my channel. God bless you all and have a nice day. Have a nice day ahead of you. All right, bye.